I keep a bit of a psychedelic diary. I've recorded every trip I've ever had, or at the very least, recorded what I can take from it. Um, and I want to just read those because they kind of just stay in my phone, and I don't know, I'm sure someone can make sense of this. Well, I'm not sure, but it's worth a shot, eh? So I'm going to start with the first one. Well, the first one's actually called Record of My First Time Taking LSA, and it's very scientifically formatted. 5:48 consumed. 6:20 mild cramping and stomach discomfort with a general uneasy feeling. 6:28 nausea and slowly rising uneasy feeling. Growing, I feel smaller. 6:42 cat came in to give me company. Everything has a bit more depth. Sound, vision is just a little more deep. Very interesting headspace, a little confused and disassociative, I think I meant. 7:30, and I'm pretty sure this is all PM. Still kind of nauseous. Everything is a bit more interesting, like I've never seen it before. Few waves of euphoria and very, very slight trails. Sounds are a little muffled and more distant. Still in full control of thoughts. Very sharp and clear mind. 7:15. Everything's really funny. Few moments of very bizarre feeling of unfamiliarity and newness. 7:23. General feeling of contentment. Very happy and pleased. 7:47. Things feel deliberate and forced, things that normally I can do with ease. Everything has a deep sense of being new to me, stunning mind space. 8:02, feel very sober. 8:38, effects ended abruptly with no after effects. Um, the next one, so yeah, it was very scientific. That was my first taste. And that was 3 years ago, maybe. The second one's called First Time Trying Psilocybin. I think this was like 2.5 grams, wet or fresh, I guess. It's pretty gross. Bizarre and numbing, almost tired and very heavy. Prevalent visuals are all earth-based. For example, a large sphere against the back of my eyelids, made of grass, trees, and rivers. Extremely visual, but very confusing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not getting much from these trips, obviously. But here's one. I think this was the first time I ever did real LSD, and it was a whole tab, and I think those tabs were like 150 mics. So this one's titled, now it gets a little less scientific, Fractal Universal Beauty. And then I have a little footnote. At this point, things get less scientific. First, reality melting, ego attacking trip. Man, and I just come right out the gate. We have no purpose here other than to exist, to simply find rest, to find peace and beauty where we are. The moments will pass. It's up to me to find the beauty in each one. And actually, to give a little bit of like background, I was pretty depressed up until this trip, like pretty like suicidal and lost and hopeless. And this trip kind of smacked me in the face and said, "Chill out." Um, anyways, continuing. Evil and good live within all people, all objects, all particles, all universes, and to put a label on something of such broad existence is unfair. Focus on the beauty and learn from the ugly. Breathe in everything, take it for what it is, but you decide. You decide whether or not you wish to focus on the bad or the good. And just like all things in our universe, we too have momentum. Good thoughts spiral into beautiful, bountiful worlds of inspiration and awe, while bad thoughts spiral into dark crevices. They crawl and creep into your mind if you allow them. By denying evil and bad and all things ugly, and accepting the beauty, I have lived. I believe the drug has one purpose, to shatter your world before your eyes, to have you sit and watch as your reality quite literally melts away, to take you back to a raw state fueled by primal fear. It's only then, after having watched your world fly apart, is it possible to build it back and to build it back stronger. Only by letting go of my diluted reality have I been able to see clearly. Life is beautiful. a beauty so strong and unimaginably profound that the universe itself created life with the sole intention to experience. To be gifted life is to observe this beautifully chaotic, constantly flowing and changing universe as a piece of itself. And in an existence so full and often confusing, it can become comfortable to ignore the world around me. My attempts to dull my experience of this life inevitably proved hopeless. I found myself in a position of constantly trying to fill a void of my own design. I got lost and confused and consciously picked away at my experience of the universe. And instead of being greeted with beautiful life every day, I was greeted by a dull, manufactured, depressing reality. And I am the only one to blame for this. The inevitable, unchanging truth is that I am here to exist, only to exist, and to exist simply. I've been conditioned, however, to address all that simply is as good or as bad. This is another unchanging truth. What I can change, and I have the power to do so, is my attitude. Attitude can determine perception. Perceptions alone determine someone's reality. I am changing my attitude about my reality, and in turn am changing my reality. So yeah, that one's pretty dramatic, but there's a lot of true stuff in there. I don't agree with my past self where I say, what did I say? Um, Basically like denying evil and bad and all that stuff. Like that's some Bible shit. Like I don't I don't believe in that anymore right now. But anyways, those are just the first three of my pretty full diary, my psychedelic diary, I guess I'm gonna call this. Um, I'm gonna do the rest of them in another part, but I hope someone took something from this.